Hey guys, welcome back to the Yarnquisitions Knitting Podcast. I'm Victoria Hussein, and we do knitting, crochet, any other yarn or fiber art, I guess. And I got a standard size mug with my Hello Kitty Cafe mug that I got when I was studying abroad in Korea. Take a sip, take a little of a snack, and get your projects, whatever you're working on, and we can get started. So what I'm wearing, or my FO, I guess you could say, is the Olive Top by Knitting for Olive. I can't wear this with the bra because it just looks so weird. Like the straps are not in line with bra straps, so that's super annoying. But other than that, it fits great. I made the straps a little too long, but that's my fault, not the pattern's fault. Let's see. And I have like almost a full skein left of the pure silk for the smallest size. So, and I do recommend that if you want this to be like negative ease. Excuse you. Sorry, the cats. I'm in the living room, as you can tell, and the cats are all in my business. Okay, what was I saying? If you want this to be more negative ease, because it's kind of loose on me, then size down. You could probably go a few inches lower than your bust size, because it is quite stretchy. Like the fabric is quite stretchy, and then when you knit it up versus after washing and blocking, well, you don't need to block it. You can just wash it and just lay it flat. It's just like the difference is like quite drastic. It was like really, really tight on me when it was pre-blocked or pre-washed, but after it's like super loose actually. Yeah. And I mean, I'm like kind of in a dilemma because I want to make the strap shorter, but then like I love the length and also fit check. My shorts, I love these shorts. They don't exactly match the top, but whatever. And the back is the same as the front, so it's technically reversible in the sense that you can wear the back as the front as the back. It really doesn't matter. It just whatever floats your boat that day, I guess. I'm wearing AirPods, so maybe the audio is better because I'm soft-spoken, and then I also have to put the camera quite far from me, so that I'm not like super close. You know what I mean? Yeah. Let's see. I used native oil pure silk in the color rhubarb juice, and at the time that I bought this was like the only pink color, because powder is technically not a pink, it's more of a neutral color. And yeah, but spoiler alert, I did order native olive, but it's been stuck in post for over a week in the US. So that kind of sucks. I don't know who to talk to find my package and get it shipped, because it's USPS. They don't have that kind of thing, like service. As far as I know, usually for like UPS or FedEx, you'd have to go through whoever you bought it from to get the shipment going again. But yeah, or maybe it's stuck in customs. I have no idea. But it's been over a week, and it's been stuck somewhere. So yeah, almost a full ball. I say almost because I used it for a swatch. So for my next finished object, I have the Frankie Sweater. It's huge. Oh, please ignore the cats. Much huge, and kind of like that for itself, because with this type of yarn, it's kind of like a spring transitional piece sweater, because it makes it lightweight. Maybe not that lightweight, because it used a lot of grams of yarn, like almost like 5.5-ish. This is what I have left of the mochi ball. About half left. So 5.5. How much is that? Like 50 times 5. Definitely over 100. 200, 250, 275. Can you tell I suck at mental math? But yeah. But I guess for something so huge, it's kind of lightweight. I'm gonna put it on because my nose is snuffling and kind of annoying. I guess if we stay around for like the whole podcast, I'll tell you why I've been away if you care, and if not, you can just click out of the video when I get to that part, I guess. So it would be like after Yarnquisitions, or after Yarn Acquisitions, sorry, because this podcast is Yarnquisitions. Yeah, I mean, I love the fit. It was super easy because after the raglan increases, there are no more decreases, so that makes it a fun, easy project. And the only thing that I did different was the Italian cast off. Instead of doing a regular Italian bind off, or 1x1 Italian bind off, I twisted the knit stitch. Yeah, that's all I did. Twisted the knit stitch, did the purl stitch regular. But it looks kind of funky because it's kind of like stretched and wonky, obviously, because they don't block knits and stuff. Besides silk, I guess. Yeah, silk and cotton linen. I just put that in the cold wash. But yeah, this is how far down it goes. I think it's like 52 centimeters or something. And the sleeves are nice, snuggly, like length. Really like this length for sleeves. But yeah, because it's so big, it's like kind of airy, and you can always like, I don't know, what is this called? Like air out if you're like too hot. Surprisingly, I did get a lot of wear out of this already because the mornings are cold, and yeah. So if I'm out on the balcony in the morning, or before like 2 p.m. basically, then I'd wear this. Let's see. Okay, so for the swatches, I did another swatch of the broken rib, but instead of doing English style like I did for canvas number 4, I did in Portuguese style knitting, and it's quite looser after washing. It's much looser. Oh, my cat's going crazy. If you hear her in the background, I'm not sure if you can. But yeah, so I washed and blocked this one. But yeah, it's much holier. Holy? There's more holes, or the holes seem bigger when I do it Portuguese style for some reason. So, but the stitch count, or the knitting gauge, the gauge swatch is like the same as my English style, but it's just much more see-through than the English style. I don't understand how that works. And I did another swatch in the pure silk in preparation for the June top light. I still haven't bought the pattern because I want to buy with other patterns, but I'm still not sure if I want those other patterns, like the Cumulus T, Anchor T, and the Sunday T. And the only reason why I'm not sure about like the Sunday T and the not the Cumulus, the Anchor T, is because it's so high up on the neck, and low-key is too hot for that, at least where I am, because this whole week it's like above 80s, or it's been in the 80 range, so for me that's too hot to wear something so high-necked. is quite thin, but I don't know. Decisions. Like, if I wanted to wear a t-shirt, I'd just wear a t-shirt. But I haven't worn a t-shirt during the day in, like, a while. So, I mean, I only wear t-shirts to sleep, so. Yeah. So I did hit gauge, if you're wondering. Or close enough, at least. Because I hit 29 by 41 or 42 rows. 29 stitches, 42 rows. So it should make the garment smaller widthwise by just a tiny bit, because I have to come to terms with that even in knitting patterns, I do not fit anything. So, yeah. Because almost all patterns are not made for bust size 75 centimeters. Or 75 to 80 centimeters. It's not made for people who maybe 80 centimeters is too much for me anyways. But yeah, I just have to accept that nothing will be negative ease on me unless I like fudge the stitch counts or something, because let's face it, if I want to use the same yarn as the designers or what the knitting pattern calls for, or similar yarn, I'm never gonna get a smaller gauge or small enough gauge to account for that difference. Account for like the 5 centimeter size difference. I don't know why 5 centimeters is so much sometimes. When it comes to patterns. Because, I mean, in Uniqlo sizing, I'm technically an XX small, but I fit X small things. They're just slightly baggier on me. And technically I do like the fit better of X small. But that's because nothing really fits me snugly. It's all loose, everything, absolutely everything, unless I get the XS small. But they don't make that much of that size available because there's barely anybody in that size. I'm like the only one. Well, not the only one, but you know, it's just not a lot of people are that size. Sorry, I get distracted by my cat going cray cray. No, she just ignored me. Let's see. What else? Hold on, I need to get tissue. Oh. Okay, so do you see this? This is my, was it like bucket bag? That's not bucket bag, because it collapses on itself. It's the nylon one I've been working on, and all this, the whiter white is the new yarn roll of a nylon. New skein, not really a skein, not really a cone either, but you know. I haven't determined if this is large enough for all my knitting equipment. I know it's not large enough for my Swift, but who cares about the Swift when all the other like smaller things are like really annoying to deal with. But yeah, this is how far I've gotten. I feel like it's not big enough, but like not big enough to close well. But I also haven't tested it either, so I don't know. And I still have to like make the drawstring, and I don't know which approach to do that in. Whether to have 2 drawstrings and then like cinch it closed with two drawstrings, or just one drawstring. I don't know. Maybe just one. One should be enough, right? I don't know. I'm using 4.25 millimeter crochet hook, and I got this at the dollar store like a long ass time ago, and it's been okay. It's definitely not the most comfortable crochet hook to use because it's all metal, and I don't recommend all metal ones, just because ergonomically it will hurt your hand over time, especially if you have bony parts on your hand. My hands aren't particularly bony, but it definitely hurts at the joints, or like, yeah, the inside joints of your fingers. They will hurt, especially if you're working with a stiff yarn like nylon. Like cotton compared to nylon is just so much easier and better to work with, if you can think of it that way, because this kind of nylon has absolutely no stretch. So, and it's kind of stiff. Or at least the bottom part is really, really stiff, and that really hurt my hand. And this part is definitely drapier and less stiff, so it didn't hurt as much. But because of that, it's more floppy. Sorry, I'm distracted by the cats again. Of course. And surprisingly, they haven't really been too into my stuff out here. Let's see. So that's my first whip that I've been working on in the past 3 weeks, I guess. Oh yeah, and then where is it? Me by my nose. Sorry for all the sniffling, but we just have to deal with it. So when I was making this sample. My boyfriend was using a vacuum and he didn't take all the things off the floor, so this got sucked in because it was in my sample. Technically it wasn't this sample, it was in the round, and that's why I had this on, so I can try it on to see the fit. But of course I've since undone it because it got stretched in a weird way, so I would have to undo it because it was at the cast on edge. That's why I undid it, but also the cast on edge looked kind of sloppy as well, so I just undid it. But I don't know if you can see this. Oh no. But there's like holes in this masking. I keep saying mask because that's the word in Danish that they use for this. What's this called? Wine? No. Stitch holders. Oh my god. Yeah, so the tube is like cut. Like it has like really small cuts in it. So then the yarn catches it, of course it would. So that really sucks. Because when it got caught in the vacuum, the silk yarn got pulled. The silk yarn got pulled, and then it tightened all the, what do you call it? The stitches, like 10-ish, 10 to 15 stitches, and then like 10 of them, I think, cut this. Isn't that? Yeah. So sometimes I think almost halfway, kind of almost halfway, so that really sucks, and it will forever have these kinks in it and holes, I guess. But I think I can use it for like larger, if I use larger needles, it wouldn't catch as much. Maybe that's hopeful thinking, but I mean I still have a ton of these, so I could just throw it away. It's whatever. Oh yeah, I totally forgot to say that the Frankie Sweater is in the Sandnes Garn 2202 pattern booklet. It's called Soft for Women, or mykt if you are looking for it. It's really hard to get in the States because it's not available. So you have to get it from somewhere in Europe. And the German English edition is the same book. So you get it in German, you get English, the same. They're the same book. So I guess you could get it in like Germany or UK. I got it from UK. It was super expensive. I don't recommend. Yeah. So there's that. Let's see. My next whip is, and if you've been following me on Instagram, you would know that I'm making the lourdes genser. I think that's how you pronounce it. And I've already made a ton of changes. Well, not a ton, but I made a few. So change number 1, instead of doing purling in this section and this section in the front and back, I just did stockinette, and then also added this line here and on the back as well, to signify that that's the end of the what's it called, German short rows, because it has a few German short rows, but not that many. Oh no, I was eating chocolate and it got on the yarn. Oops. So it might look a little weird to have like this weird box here, but whatever. I don't mind that actually. I think everything else is to the pattern, because I got scared that if I changed this part into knits, then I was scared that there wouldn't be enough differentiation between that pattern and the knit part. Oh, my cats are fighting. Why are they so active when I'm out here? And now she's growling at the male cat. So I have a female cat, Mia, or Mimi. Then I have a male cat, that's Soso, or Zoro. And Zoro's black one, Mia is the one in my profile picture. And yeah, don't have the greatest relationship. So I finished one sleeve, as you can see, and I started the other sleeve, and I haven't finished the body because the body has no decreases, so it's like the easier one, honestly. So yeah, I'm doing the sleeves first because they're harder, because the increases or the decreases, it's like there's just so much decreases. And also looks fucking weird. Like, I don't know if you can see how weird it looks. Like, it's kind of like willy-nilly, like decrease this amount of space, and then you can figure out the pattern for yourself, basically. Kind of like the Ingrid sweater, except the Ingrid sweater is much more simpler. This is like the more difficult cousin. Let's just say that. And then I also omitted all the popcorn stitches because I do not like the look of popcorn stitches. I don't know, I'm not into it right now. Maybe I will be in the future. And also the practicality of it is like 0 for me right now, so maybe I'll overcome that in the future, but for now, no popcorn stitches on my knits. And then there's like the, what do you call this, the yarn overs, the eyelets. So in the Ingrid sweater, there's only 1 row of eyelets, but in this pattern, in the Lourdes genser, there's 2 rows of eyelets. And I'm like, bruh, why? Yeah. So definitely much holier. Like there's eyelets everywhere. on this pattern, so it's definitely like an in-between season. It could be spring, it could be, well, maybe not summer. Summer is a little like fall, winter, hotter days in winter. I mean, we were getting that a lot last winter, so in preparation for that, this is a good pattern, I guess. But I guess for colder regions, you can just wear this whenever, when it's not hot. What else about this pattern? Definitely a lot of lace and a lot of what do you call it? Twisted rib. This is a lot of twisted rib. I didn't really realize that until I started the pattern. Definitely not as much as this, but it's there. You saw that. Oh yeah, another thing I did different, instead of picking up whatever amounts of stitches on the neck, I picked up the recommended stitches, because it says to pick up and then decrease to the amount of stitches, but I just picked up the amount of stitches that it wanted me to have, because I picked up willy-nilly, and then I decreased it for this collar on the Frankie sweater, and it is super weird, but also picked up kind of weird too. So that's probably my fault as well, but I did not enjoy picking up willy-nilly and then decreasing, because that's a lot of like fiddling and figuring out how many stitches between do I decrease. Like, that's a lot of ridiculous work. When I could just pick up the amount of freaking stitches that it wants. Like, and plus it looks way better when I pick up the amount of stitches that it wants, instead of picking up more and then decreasing. 'Cause that makes the like picked up edge a little wonky. I don't know. It just looks weird. So yeah, and this is kind of like a mock neck. It's not really a turtleneck because it's not long enough, but you could definitely make it into a turtleneck if you wanted to. Just add like 2 more centimeters to each section, so for a total of 4 centimeters. No. So it'd be 5 centimeters each section, so it'd be it'd be 4 inches, or 10 centimeters tall. So, because right now it's at 6. Oh, I think this is the front. Yes, this is the front for you. Let's see. Is there anything else I changed? Dude, there's so many things I like changed. Let's see. And then for the sleeve, I picked up like 2 for every 3 stitches, except for near the armhole where I picked up like all the stitches on the underneath the armhole, just because when I calculated it, it didn't reach the amount that I'm supposed to pick up, so I had to add like a couple at the bottom instead of like adding it at the top or like somewhere in the middle, so it's more consistent all around. And honestly, I can't even tell where I picked up. It's just that seamless. Am I bragging? Maybe a little. Can you tell that I'm slower today because it's just been a lot. My nose. I don't want to blow it, so I've just been like dabbing my nose. Okay, drink some beverage, water. Did I say I was drinking coffee? I don't know. Let's see. And I had to use my yarn swift because it came in a, what was this? Skein? No. This brain farts is so annoying. Hank. It came in a hank, so I had to skein it up. But it was like really, really tight the first time winding it, and then I also like pulled out it pulled out like extra yarn, like yarn barf basically, and that was really, really annoying. So I basically slid the really, really tight yarn ball onto what this yarn came in. So I slid onto that and then just wound it again, but like until it wasn't tight anymore on the comb that I put it on. And then I wound it like, so I wound half twice, and then I wound that half the third time. And then, yeah, I don't know, it's just kind of what I like finagled so that I don't get yarn barf again, because that was like so time consuming, it was ridiculous. But yeah, so this is my center pull thing, and if you squish it, it looks like a plate, like a mini plate, you know, so it's kind of cute. And I'm already on my 4th ball of mohair, but it says that I need 5, and I'm doubtful of that, just because the sleeve took up like 1 ball of mohair, so I don't know if I'll have enough. I mean, hopefully, because I have 6 balls of mohair, and technically this has more yardage than the sandnes garn tin silk mohair, so it should be enough. I don't know why it's taking so much mohair, but at the end of this project I'll have 1.5 skeins of this line weight from Purl Soho. It's a single ply from wearing weighted yarn. Very similar to the Fanita yarn. We are knitters. But this is 100% merino wool, and Fanita yarn is like 70% merino wool and 30% baby alpaca, or maybe just regular alpaca. I don't know. I forget. So I think this is more tougher because it's wool, 100% wool, and not part alpaca. It is kind of strong, I've got to say, for a single ply. But I do worry that I did stretch it a little bit. I think there's just like thicker parts and thinner parts of the yarn, which is fine. Oh, and I forgot to say that this uses 3.5 millimeter and 3 millimeter needles. So yeah, so I had to use 2 different sets of needles. Technically 3, because I used my 5-inch 3.5 for the body, and I'm using one of the 5-inch 3.5 needles, and then also a 3.5-inch 3.5 millimeter needle. Well, technically I could just switch to the both short needles, not use the 5-inch on this one, on the sleeve, but it is kind of nice to have like just a longer needle. I find that the 3.5-inch needles are fine. It's the 2-inch needles that I have a really difficult time holding. But you only use it in this part, in the 1x1 rib part, on the sleeve and on the neck band part. It's just the 1x1, so it's just this part. Yeah. Is there anything else about this pattern? Oh right, I forgot to say what it's in. It's in the Sandnes DIY 2109. So this came out last year in September. I'm assuming because the 9 is usually the month they release it in. And I bookmarked the patterns I want to make. It's just like only 3 patterns. And this is design number 6. I can show you what it's supposed to look like. Yes. I don't know if you can see that because it's like white and it's hard to see in this kind of lighting. But yeah, the pictures sometimes span 2 pages, so kind of annoying to like look at in the book, at least. And here's another shot of it. I don't know if you can see it that well because it's white, and white on camera it's kind of hard to show. So yeah. So this has 3 sizes. X small and medium, which is one size, and then large to 2XL, which is also another size. So it only goes up to 141 centimeters, and the minimum is 106 centimeters. And the tension is 23 stitches in stockinette with one strand of Sunday, which is a fingering weight yarn, and one strand in silk mohair, which is a lace weight mohair silk yarn, on 3.5mm needles. And somehow I am on the correct or close enough row gauge, even though it doesn't technically have a row gauge in this pattern, because they don't mention the row, how much rows in 10 centimeters, only the stitches, because from the start to like the end of the pattern for the sleeve, it's somehow the length that it says it is, like on the dot. I'm like, that's kind of amazing. It usually like never happens for me, because my row gauge, for whatever reason, is always much shorter, or there's more stitches in it. And in my last podcast, I said that for the corselet tank, it went from 23 stitches to 22 stitches, and I realized it didn't shrink, it like relaxed or expanded. So I was totally wrong in the last episode, just saying, yeah. And if you mentioned it and I didn't see it, you were right. I don't know what else to say. And I keep damaging my needle tips for the Nipro ones, but for my Lykke needles, like, they didn't even seem like they're damaged. And I'm like, is it because there's wax on it and not a what do you call it, like a laminate epoxy, or like, I mean, technically it's still a finish, but I don't know, because my Nipro, or not Nipro, Nipix, oh my god, Nipix needles is not faring so well. Case in point, let me show you the needles I used for the olive top, and they're like totally royally fucked. For, I don't know, can you even see this? Oh, maybe this is good. But yeah, you could see that it's like totally like bitten. If you could, I don't know if you can see that. Let me use my hair. Right. Maybe you could see just how fucked up it is. But this needle is the one that's fucked up the most. The other one, a little bit, but not so much. I don't know if you even can see it that clearly, but it's like halfway eaten away. And I don't know if I should just throw these away or if I should just sand it down. Not sure. Because the rest of the needle is fine. But yeah. It's because I put too much pressure on it. Like, I shouldn't have, but whatever. And I don't know, like when I'm working on the Lourdes genser, I don't have the same problem for not nitpicks needles. So I don't know what the deal is with that. And is that it? Yes, I think that's it for like whips and finished objects. Let me just put this stuff away first. Or get it all packed up. And the cats have come down, so they're not gonna be noisy. Let's see. So we're gonna go into Yarnquisitions or yarn acquisitions now, or tools I bought basically. And I bought 2 more Knitting for Olive Dusty Artichoke. Not from the Knitting for Olive site because they are sold out. But Shop La Mercerie has restocked their silk, so I got some. And this is for shorts that I want to make, but I'm not sure if I could even make it into a pattern, because people's waist and hip difference is really personal, and I don't know. I don't know if I should make standard sizes, like standard hip and waist sizes. I don't know. Shorts are difficult because I would want high-waisted shorts, because then I won't have to knit more on the camisole. So I have 2 and a half, and if I need to, I can undo my samples. So, or my, yeah, there are samples, right? Yeah. No. Gauge swatches. I can undo the gauge swatches if I need a little more. But yeah, 2 and a half should be fine, because I only use like 1 and like a quarter of this, so should be good. Although it does require, shorts do require more yarn than camisole does. It's just more fabric. Let's see. Also from Shop La Mercerie, I got the new lykke. What are these? Cords, the clear ones. So for the clear ones, the metal part swivels independently from the plastic cord. So I'm using it on my Lourdes genser right now, and for the sleeves. And yeah, you can just like the C-knit cables, you can like twist it and it'll be fine, and it won't, it's less likely for the needle to come undone because this metal part sews independently from the cable, so, and the metal part and the needle swivels together. So yeah, I'm so tempted to buy more of these cables, and I bought it for like $4 each, and from Shop Anniversary, and you can also get it from the Black Squirrel in Berkeley if you're in the Bay Area. They also have an online shop, so you can buy it online as well, but it's $4.50, and I'm assuming their shipping rates are the same as Shop Anniversary, but I haven't not ordered from the Black Squirrel, so I'm always eyeing tools and yarn from there, so that's why I'm mentioning it. But yeah, low key, I want all the sizes, but only bought 2 because I only, they like ran out of a 40-inch one, or the 32-inch. They ran out of all those lot bigger sizes of cords, because I guess they're that popular. Yeah. Yeah. The freaking C-knit kinky ambari needles really, or cables, those really opened my eyes to great swivel cords. So swivel cords, definitely the way to go. And if you buy the copper needles by Lykke, they come with swivel cords, so kind of annoying that the other ones don't also come with swivel cords. Like the driftwood ones, I wish they did, but they don't. And I don't know if they're going to change it in the future. And in my opinion, they should only stop the clear swivel cords. Okay, that's just my opinion. Not controversial, I don't think, because everyone likes those kind of cords. And it does, these cords do come with like the pin, so you can tighten it tighter if you want. I don't, because it's easy to tighten by your fingers. So if they do come undone, which it has already, because I didn't use the little swivel, or not swivel, I didn't use the thingy, whatever. I didn't use that, so it did come undone. But if you use it, it won't. But at the same time, you won't be able to undo it with your fingers if you use that. So, whatever. Do what you want, you know. And then I also got 6 balls of the løvetand camarose linen, organic linen balls in the color lyseblå. I don't really know how to say that, which is light blue. Translated into English is light blue, and this 100% organic linen in DK weight. I bought this because I want to try out the yarn, and I wanted to make a top and shorts. That's why I bought 6, like 2.5 or maybe 3 could be for the top, and 3 can be 3, and then whatever extra can be for the bottom. Yeah, and it's 140 meters per ball. So it's kind of not that much meterage. But it's more than a wool decay, but it's still not that much. So that's why you have to have a lot. And I find that there's more decay weight summer knits than there are fingering weight summer knits. So hopefully I can find something out there for that. And if not, I'll just use maybe the June top pattern. But I don't want to buy the June top and June top, so I don't know. It's a dilemma. Okay, it's a dilemma. It's a whole thing. So that's all I got from Shop and Mercery. It's kind of a lot, but I also have I thought it came undone, but it didn't. I also bought the Yarnquisitions, the wool, so I can finish my stupid sweater that's been waiting since February, basically, or January. Yeah. Can you tell, like, pink? And I have a couple Bordeaux colored items, so that's why I had this. Oh shit. Does this match? Is this the same color? Oh, it's very, very similar. This is more pink though, and not mauve. So I bought these so I can finish my sable sweater by Love Knits. Technically she doesn't use like this chunky yarn. It's quite chunky because it's a super bulky yarn. She uses like 2 strands of Wish, or 2 strands of Drops Wish. Wish is the iron weight or chunky weight yarn. And then I think she has another version of that, of the sable sweater, using like a boucle and 2 strands of, is it 2 strands of boucle and then like 1 strand something else? I can't remember, but she like mentions it somewhere in her pattern. I think in her pattern. Or maybe on her Instagram or something, I forget. But yeah, she mentions it somewhere that she used the boucle for the first version. I think for second version she used like 2 strands of Drops Wish or something. Or Drops Arrow, I don't know. But recently I looked at the difference between Drops Wish and Drops Air, and Drops Wish has no like polyester, polyamide in it. Drops Air does, but Drops Air is also a different weight from Drops Wish. Drops Air is like worsted iron or something, and then Drops Wish is iron chunky. Like, it's, you can't use the same thing, so but maybe you can because it's like a tube, so I don't know. Like this feels like a decay weight, but it says that it's worsted, but I don't know if I trust that it's worsted, so yeah, I don't know. And this is what I have of the sable sweater. Ooh. Sorry, the sleeves are like together, so I can only show like half of it to you. I think I twisted this a little bit. So I did undo like a little bit of the sleeves, and I haven't had time to pick apart the bottom edge, because the body is too short right now and I need to undo all of this part, and picking apart 1 or 2x2 is kind of annoying, so that's why I haven't done it. And the fit is quite tight on this, but I did that on purpose so I could use like the leftover, and also it does stretch a little bit, so but yeah, it's super heavy because so yeah, if you're gonna make a sweater and you're like a similar size to me, it takes at least 6 balls of the wool to make a sweater, like a full size sweater, like normal length, not cropped sweater. So that's my lesson from this freaking project, because I had 4 balls left over. Yeah, I have 4 balls left over, and I didn't know what to do with it, so I bought the sable sweater pattern, and yeah, and I couldn't finish it, so yeah, I really want to finish it. And don't come for me for buying from We Are Knitters. I needed it to be the same color or similar color. Okay, like that's just my hang up in general. I think also I knitted if you were wondering, I knitted this 2x2 rib in 6.5 millimeters, and then knitted the body in 8mm needles, and that gave me the correct gauge for this pattern. So if you were wondering if you can do that, you can. Let's see. But yeah, it is a little tight, so just a fair warning. But because it's a little tight, it looks so good. For the neck, I need to like stretch it out a little bit because it's like really, really like against my neck. So yeah. And I don't know if I want to do the balloon sleeves. I think I'm just gonna keep it straight or something, because I'm just so undecided, honestly. Even though it's been like a long time coming for this project. Yeah, and then here's the extra, or the stuff that I undid, and I just wound it onto this little thing, 2, 1 for each side. Yeah, because I'm gonna put this color in before I put the bordeaux. That means I have to. So I guess I lied a little bit, because then I would have to do the whole bordeaux part of the body, which is more than I thought. Yeah. Oops. And that bordeaux part is like, plus this is the whole skein of, or one skein of bordeaux, so kind of annoying, honestly, that I had to buy so much yarn for that, because I also had to buy 6 balls of yarn for the other sweater, the landscape sweater. Let me check how much time that's on here. Mm, 1 hour 15. Okay. Do I have anything else to say? I don't know. Kind of tired now because I like used up my brain for this podcast. Because trying to remember everything is kind of stressful. Let's see. Okay. Take a sip. Sippy sip. And I guess I should quickly fill you guys in on why it took so long to make another podcast. So, on the week before July 4th, my boyfriend actually caught COVID, or Miss Rona, but honestly I haven't been keeping track on which variant we're on, so this round I feel like everyone is getting it. So be safe out there, you know, mask up, you know, especially when traveling, like you can get it really easily, unless you're in a safe country like Korea or Japan or something. And or like those are the only places that I know for sure have really, really low cases of Miss Rona, even though it's higher than before, like it's higher than in 2021, so, but it's still lower than US, so who cares, right? Yeah, so because my boyfriend caught Miss Rona the week before July 4th, which is Independence Day for the US if you're not from US, so that made me catch it like a full like 5 days later. Or at least show symptoms 5 days later, and there was no point in us quarantining separately because obviously we're boyfriend girlfriend, we kiss, blah blah blah, so there was no, we already like spread it to each other, or he already spread it to me, so it doesn't even matter if we quarantine separately. So, and plus we don't have space for that, that's impossible for us, so yeah. And then also because he caught it a week before he recovered, the week of July 4th, although he still has a cough, and for me I got sick the date of July 4th, or the night before, I don't know, it's like kind of hazy for me because you know, the fever was pretty, it's not the worst fever I've ever had, but it was also close to 100, so yeah, it was like 99.9 or something Fahrenheit. I don't know what that is in Celsius exactly, because the point something Fahrenheit is really, or at least for people who use Fahrenheit, it matters a lot for some reason. Yeah, because there's a difference between 96.8 and then 97. Because 97 you would have like a light fever probably, or just you're hot. I don't know. But yeah, I had to take fever reducers for like 2 or 3 days or something because, well, the third day, you know, just also got my period that week, so it was rough recovering. Yeah. And the day before I had my fever, I had like full body aches, which is abnormal for me. Even with my period, I don't get full body aches with my period. Some people do it for sure, but that would be an abnormal symptom for me. And obviously got the coughs, you know, got the stuffy nose and everything. Is there anything else? Well, I couldn't speak for like a week and a half-ish. Because I would cough incessantly, because I spoke at normal level. So I had to like whisper for like a week, which was like really difficult because it's just hard to speak across the room when you're whispering. Yeah. And yeah. And it was kind of hot that week, but I was still cold. So yeah, you could tell how like shit I felt just by symptoms alone. Like that's a lot of fucking symptoms. You know, I thought I'd like get over the fever really quickly, but no, that was false. So yeah. And because I kept rubbing my nose for like several days straight, my like nose peeled like crazy. Still recovering from that peeling. And even after like 2 weeks from the fever, I'm still like Miss Rona positive. And kind of scared too. And my last test was from the 14th, and today is the 16th or something. And I've been taking a test, the rapid test, every few days or so. Every like 2 days I'd like take one. After basically you like, well, my first one was on the 9th. So maybe the 9th was like premature, but it's like a week after I started taking the rapid test to test if I'm positive, because I need to go grocery shopping, okay, but I haven't been able to. I mean, technically in the US you can go out if you don't have fever. Yeah, as long as you don't have fever, I think they're like, just wear an N95 or 94, I forget which one, mask, and then you're good to go, basically. Yeah, I think that's all the thing we have to do. And if you have fever, you have to quarantine, which obviously you won't feel good anyways, so you should go out anyways. Yeah. But it's hard to go out when you have like snot dripping from your nose all the time, so that's also another reason why I didn't go out. I haven't been out since I got my fever, so yeah. And I know that Alexandra's garn, or Alexandra from Alexandra's garn, also recently caught Miss Rona's because she traveled to a bigger city. So I guess it's almost inevitable. So yeah, it really sucks, and she also has pretty bad symptoms as well. But nothing that you can't recover from. Drink hot tea. Hot tea saved my throat from hurting like crazy. Yeah. Drink lots of water, hot tea. That's all. And take fever reducing medicine. Yeah. My highest temperature was 99.9. And then the second highest was like 98 or something. Yeah. So to me, anything under 100 is like a light fever. But some people might not think so. Because in the history of me, my highest fever that I got, or recorded at least, was 104, and that was when I was in China, when I was a kid, and I got the fever because I left the AC on in my room, and it was blowing directly at me, and that's why I got the fever. But also maybe because China was really different for my immune system. So that also could be the reason. But after getting an IV drip from the hospital in China, I recovered within the day. So whatever was in that IV drip, it was like magic. Because I took fever reducing medicine for like 2 or 3 days straight, and I still had a really, really high fever. So that was really crazy. And my mom was like freaking out because it was abnormally high. She's like, I've never seen a fucking fever this high before. And I'm like, oh. And I was like really adamant not going to the hospital for some reason. Maybe because I didn't realize how bad it was. Because you're a kid, you don't really know. Yeah. And yeah, fun tidbit, I guess. And fun fact, the Hello Kitty Cafe in Korea is closed because of the panini. I mean, I think. And another fun fact, when we are searching for the Hello Kitty Cafe in Korea, we got lost because the roads are not like city blocks like it is in San Francisco, where I grew up. So that was interesting to say the least, because there's a ton of back alleys, and like you'd have to go down one of those, I think, or like you would have to go down like a smaller road to get to this cafe, and it's like tucked behind like a lot of shit. So yeah, that was really difficult. Yeah, and we couldn't find that road for like fucking 30 minutes to an hour. Like, holy shit. We were so glad we found it because it was like close to closing. But yeah. So that was from 2015. Which I'm surprised I still have this mug, honestly. and it's a tip-top condition because I didn't use it for like a few years. I like used it as a toothbrush holder. I would use it to swig water when I was brushing my teeth for like a year or two, maybe, or something. Yeah, definitely like 2 years. And then after that, I started using it as a regular, tea mug or hot drinks mug. Let's see. Or did I? Maybe not. Maybe when I moved into this apartment, I started using it as a regular ass mug. If you can hear me scratching my ear, I'm so sorry about any of the scratches, sniffling. I just can't help myself. Okay, I think it's already an hour 30. Yeah, I'm scared to test for Miss Rona for the rapid test because I don't want it to be positive. Cause then it just like keeps, I don't know why I'm so positive. It doesn't make any sense. And this nose sniffling is not because of Miss Rona, it's because I'm filming. It's so stupid. I fucking hate this shit. Okay, so this will be a beast to upload and a beast to do the description. So maybe if you watch this in the first day, there won't be a description. But you won't find out until the end if you reach the end of this fucking podcast, so whatever. Yeah, I bought a lot of shit, so yeah. Okay, I'll let you guys go, unless you've exited already, but yeah. Hope you guys had fun with me, if you had fun, or made a lot of progress on your knit or whatever you're doing, weaving, maybe spinning. I really want to spin, but requires some investment. And roving is also kind of expensive, so yeah. Okay, see you guys. Hopefully next week. I know last podcast I said next week, but then I got Rona, so annoying, but whatever. Yeah, I'll see you guys next week. Peace.